Well, aloha from the food forest. This is Tutu and we welcome you. Today is November 28th, 2021, and we are celebrating holidays here in the USA. So we're very grateful and thankful for nature, Mother Earth, and for the unity among all people and animals and plants. So it's very exciting, a very exciting time to be alive. And I just wanted to show you quickly, well, maybe not too quickly, the food forest. It's very fun. You see, we have the sink here where we recycle the water that we use in the sink back into the ground, which is very handy. And then out there is a shower with hot and cold water, so we can have a nice little shower out there. And also the water goes into the water table. So that's where we like to keep the water, is inside the soil as much as possible. Yes, those are fun sugar cane plants. They are great for, they're like a big huge sweet grass is what they are. So those are very fun. I use them for mulching, and also for sweetening. You can like put a piece of sugar cane in with your juice or something and sweeten it up, or even with your oatmeal. So I've been enjoying having the sugar cane here, plus it makes a nice barrier. It's a bit of a sharp leaf though, so it's not pleasant to brush up against with bare skin. So, I mean, not that bad. I can do it, but I'm kind of tough, but little kids wouldn't like it. So anyways, that's sugar cane. And this is a little cherry tree that's been growing for quite a while now. It seems like it's starting to take hold. And what we have done is covered all of the soil with wood chips. So, and then our dog, she digs holes too. So she's doing some bioturbation in there. But, and this is where she lays. So she's got the wood chips somewhat disturbed right there, but it's a pretty nice layer of wood chips that we have all around on the floor right now that we got from chipdrop.com. And so it's lovely. It's a lovely way to get ready for the colder weather, because it keeps the soil warm and it absorbs the rain and helps cover the soil biota, which are not only the worms and things, but all the microbial life forms in the soil. So it's very nice to have a beautiful layer of chips. And it took a few days to cover the place, working wheelbarrow by wheelbarrow, but it was really a fun few days. It was like a holiday. And the plants always seem to green up. Like this lemon tree doesn't look all that green right now, but I see it starting to get better looking than it was, with some nice solid green leaves. So yes, some new growth. The new growth is looking solid green. And that's what will happen with the wood chips. It just it feeds the plant exactly what it needs to grow. So it needs leaves and stems and wood, and all of that is chopped up by the wood chipper, the tree trimmer. And then they can bring it to your house, and then you can put it on your soil and start really jump-starting your fertilizer for free. This is a way to fertilize where you don't need anything. If you haven't seen the Back to Eden film with Paul Gauci, I highly recommend you watch that. It talks about how the cycle of nature is, decomposing the old stuff and creating the new out of it. So it's quite a lovely film. And also that's just the way nature works in a forest. So what we are doing here is imitating the forest setting by adding the wood chips. And eventually I think you, in a lot of cases, you can have enough of your own trimmings and leaf droppings. Like here from this pecan tree, we're getting a lot of leaf droppings. But we have been finding that once a year, it's nice to bring in a layer of wood chips from local gardens and just put them all down so it's nice and thick, like a warm blanket for winter. So that's what we've done, and it feels really cozy in here. So yeah, it's lovely, and the birds are singing. So I thought I would just show, how our food forest looks. We're in North San Diego County. And this area used to be a fenced-in little place where we grow seedlings. And now we're able to take the fence down because we have our dog. And before that we had a coyote that would come in here and clear out all the little, not all, but keep the populations in balance, so it would eat some bunnies and gophers. And we've still lost some plants to those things, but overall, as long as now we have our dog that cleans the property out of, or chases them out, or barks at them. So she's also a good deterrent for the little pests. But they can still come in at night, which is fine. We welcome nature, more nature balances, because they do things and we can't eat all the food anyway. So we have a lot of calendula flowers on the floor here. See all those yellow and orange pretty flowers? They self-seed. And then we have, those are collard greens up there. All of this. And we have strawberries down in here. These are some of the ground covers. Of course, lots of green onions, which grow very well here in our gardens. We started this green onion crop from store-bought green onions, and now look how much we have. And this is after years and years of it growing and harvesting. We still have green onions, and they are biennial, so they excuse me, they make seeds after a year. So then they spread by seeds, and they grow from underground multiplication like that. So this is the green onion variety, not the big bulb onion. This one's really easy to grow. And we love the green onion tops. They're delicious dehydrated, like a nice seasoning. And they make a good, just like a good crop at this level, almost like a tall grass. Yeah, so and we're planting more trees in here. We have a loquat, and then I've been adding more of the pigeon peas out here because I love them. The pigeon pea layer. I'll show you. Here's an older loquat tree that's getting ready to make some fruit. Let's see. So that's the little, there's some more up there. And there's the moon. Hooray! And I'll show you how I handle kitchen waste too in a little while. So pigeon pea. Okay, and then along this side, It was a tough spot in the garden because there was a tall eucalyptus shading it, and that eucalyptus got trimmed way down. I think it's gone. And so what I first did was, in order to start this garden, I added succulents. So elephant food and other succulents, they will grow in a Southern California garden so easily. And then once you have them established, then you can add in some more of your other garden things. See, like this. But here are the pigeon peas. I think the main reason that I like the succulents in there is they're holding more water in a really dry place. So that's why they help. And then like these guys, like the feverfew, will come in and fill in. And other of the natural herbs, like this is a wild radish over here that comes along and fills in. And there's another one over there. And then mustards will come and all kinds of things. So you start having this little mixture, which is really one of the great keys to success in a food forest, because we have the biodiversity. Look at this big, huge tomato. For a while, I wasn't having enough bees coming along, but I see the flowers are blooming and I'm seeing more bees coming back. So, but I did hand pollinate some of these flowers, the tomato flowers, by using, like, I think I used a little piece of a plant leaf or something, maybe a little feathery something, but I just touched it in each flower. So that was hand pollinating, and it did seem to help. I got a few tomatoes, but I think the bees are coming back, so that's nice. And we have this little apricot tree here from seed, and this apple tree. We did lose some trees last year, but we're putting in more. We lost these trees when something happened and they got blasted, like almost like they got burned right across them from the sky. It was weird. Maybe a laser came and got them, but they all three were in a row and they all died at once. So that's what made me think I'm going to put more of the pigeon peas in around, because they give this nice layer and they're such good food. And they have so many flowers. Like that one over there is just about starting to flower, but if you've seen the videos, you know they have flowers. So yeah, so here's how lovely it is with the mulch. And I make these little paths, and these paths are a fun place where you can store extra mulch. If you have too much, you can pile it up in the pathway. I learned that from somebody online. There's so much you can learn online. It's fun. So I wanted to show you also, well, there's a hops vine. Isn't that fun? Wouldn't that be fun if it covers the whole fence here? And then this one is a little lowered garden bed. So the actual soil level is about a foot lower than the regular soil. So when it does rain, water will come down here and it will fill this little compost bed. So if you're in a dry area, you can use a lowered garden bed to help keep it moist, because the higher up you go, the more water is going to evaporate. So I learned that from Jeff Lawton, and I tried it and I really like the idea. Yeah. So you can see, and those are calendula too. See, they're over here, they're much bigger. Probably because they're growing in a lot of compost. But yeah, so here is the food forest and the birds. This is a lovely herb for smudging. It's not a true sage, but it's a Mexican sage, and it smells really good. And then this is a bed that of Swiss chard, different colors of Swiss chard and fennel, and that it keeps propagating itself. It's really a great leafy vegetable, and even the bunnies can eat it if you have bunnies or tortoises. It's really good greens, and it grows really easily here in Southern California. We've been having great luck with bananas. Oh my goodness, these are teeny tiny, but the ones we have in the front yard, we have 8 banana stalks going right now with bananas on them. So it's been great. They're in a nice warm spot. But here's a little apple tree. I put this in to replace the other apple tree that we used to have that was right over here, which I now have avocados growing in there and potatoes. But yeah, and then I put in a couple almond trees here and here to replace the little almond trees that we had before. So I hope they do really well. And things are kind of bare and cold down here at the bottom. The fig trees and the pomegranates. This is kind of at the end of the season, but they'll rejuvenate. And see, one of the nice things too is to get that mulch on there, so that helps them absorb all the rainwater and keep it in there, keep it in the soil. So here's the little back fence. I need to turn the sprinkler on back here. But these goji berries, they've never been all that happy. I don't know why. But anyway, here is some of these more big trees. That's what makes this garden so special, really, are the big trees. So, yeah, this is about it for the food forest in the backyard. Oh, we have some berries over here. Oh, we have stinging nettle that comes up. Seeing if I didn't learn what this was, and thank goodness we can learn about all these things. I wouldn't know that this was a fabulous plant to have in the garden. And you can put it in your cooking and it's delicious. You can dry it, but you just have to be a little careful with it because it has stinging leaves. So I just use scissors and clip them and let them fall into a little colander or bag or a little bowl or whatever. And their sting goes away after you cook them or chop them up. Okay, so here are some raspberries. Thank you, Tanya Freeman, for the raspberries. Oh, and the currants. Thank you. It's exciting. Yeah. So, mostly peaceful out here. Here are some blackberries that we're growing back here that will surely benefit from the extra layer of mulch. I kind of left this area unattended, but I put these blackberries in a long time ago, so that some of them are still here. This was kind of like a last part of the garden to get done. We used to have a greenhouse over this area, but we took it down. It wasn't really a greenhouse, it was a shade house. That's what it was, a shade house. Yeah. And here's the medicine wheel. where we send you aloha and feel gratitude for Mother Earth. And I send you love every day, people. Every day. Here's a Louise Hay pink pomegranate tree. I planted it in honor of Louise Hay. So I will just come to the medicine wheel with you all and share aloha, best wishes from the north, the south, the east, and west, all around the planet. Everywhere aloha, everywhere love, everywhere unity for all creatures. Unity with Mother Earth's peoples, with her plants and animals, fungi. We are all united. That's what the food forest taught. That's what it teaches. It teaches that everyone has a space, a place, a part in the whole orchestration. All the microbes, all the animals, and we've spent far too much time trying to overtake the balance of nature's design. And the easy and fun way is to go back to being in harmony or in syntropy with Mother Earth. Learning the cycles, getting the infinite abundance of seeds and plant multiplication. And there's more than enough for the people and the animals. There really is. If you use the permaculture principle, take only what you need, it's so easy. I think citrus trees are my favorite tree of all. They're just so great to have in the yard. And if you can, I think you're very lucky. And see, this one's growing as an understory tree. It's underneath this ash tree and this oak tree. It does very well. I guess you can make them like a bush-shaped tree also. It's just this one happens to be about 60 years old or more. So, yeah, and same with this olive. I brined olives this year and they were good, just by simple salt water, changing the water repeatedly. But you could also add some vinegar in there too. So nature's bounty is here with all of us. This was just a scrubby little piece of olive tree, and now it's making olives for us. So it's very fun. So if you like this kind of thing, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to get notified when I make a new video. And also, if there's anything else I could do to help you, inspire you, you can find almost all the chapters of my book in a playlist on this channel. And yeah, leave a comment or ask a question if you like. And I am sending you very much aloha.